What's good, people? Your boy, Mad Mike here. Be wishing you guys a happy Sunday. Hope you got a good word in. Had something to, you know, something good to eat. If you haven't eaten, uh, shit, go. But yeah, I got something to say on this new quarterback um, contract issues and where I believe things are heading when it comes down to these contracts. And this is my opinion on things. And quite frankly, um, this is going to be the start of something hellacious. All right. And I'm so serious when I say hellacious. It's going to get ugly, people. And I'm forewarning you right now, everybody. Do not forget who told you first. If the NFL owners don't get control of these contracts and how much they're paying the people, things are going to get ugly. It's getting ugly, people. It's gonna get to a point where we may not even see football again. Oh, I'm warning you. Oh, you can believe that. It's getting to a point where you guys may not see football. And I'm talking about for months. I'm talking about for at least a year. Because it's getting out of hand what I'm seeing from these players. And not that I don't respect the players' grind, putting their body on the line. But this money is getting way out of hand. We're seeing players getting to the point where they don't even want to fucking play. They're manipulating things to where it's a couple of fucking years. You play for 4, 5, 6 years. You play for 4 years, and then here you go. You want to say, all right, I'm a Pro Bowler. Give me $150 million. Give me $200 million. Give me $300 million. I want a Patrick Mahomes contract. When your ass would never be fucking Patrick Mahomes, or your ass would never be Tom Brady, or your ass would never be Matt Ryan, Peyton Manning. Hell, you may not even be Eli Manning. For fuck's sakes, a lot of you motherfuckers are goddamn Trent Dilfers. But you up here fucking, you up here holding out of fucking, you holding out of training camp like you done something. I.e. Kyler short-ass Murray. What the fuck have you done to garner a $50 million contract? These contracts are getting out of fucking hand. It's getting to the point where the love of the game is no longer the love of the game. It's the love of the fucking contract. And then you got guys in college, i.e. Justin Fields, who believe they are NFL talent, so they want to bypass and make the easiest path to the NFL. Go to a school like Georgia, build up all the hype around them, transfer to a school that's going to make that process a lot easier, i.e. Ohio State. Go to Ohio State, don't get the proper training as a quarterback, learning how to actually play the fucking position, so you can be a top 5 or the top 10 pick and make that process a lot faster for you to get paid. Yeah, it's getting ugly, people. And people already, here go Mike tripping again. Okay, you'll see. I mean, you motherfuckers, a lot of these Falcons fans, y'all complain year after year after year after year about how much Matt Ryan is getting paid. $30 million, $35 million. You cried like little damn bitches when Matt Ryan price tag was $40 million. Picture this shit being $50 million now. These quarterbacks have lost their goddamn mind. So, just giving a little bit of hello to the people in here, man. I appreciate everybody for joining me. But this is something that's been on my mind for a bit, and I just got to get it off. We're seeing way too many contracts with players and quarterbacks where there's been a team effort to make sure that this quarterback has all the necessary tools around him: offensive line, defensive line, a solid defense, linebackers, secondary, a solid front office who knows what they're doing. They have a clear vision. You got wide receivers who are very good. You have a running game, offensive line, and you have an owner that actually gives a fuck. But we got these quarterbacks who feel as though because you put your body on the line, you're getting hit almost every play. You think you deserve $50 million a year. Are you lost your goddamn mind, quarterbacks? There are defensive guys that get hit every single play when quarterbacks just stand back there and wait. Some quarterbacks don't even get hit as much as offensive linemen and defensive linemen. There's physical contact with offensive line and defensive linemen every single play, and we got these crybaby, whiny, bitch-ass quarterbacks who complaining about, oh, I get hit. I'm the leader of the team. I deserve $50 million a year. Bullshit. It's disgusting to see these people up here really complaining about $40 million, $30 million a year. Yeah, Scott, good night. Jarvis, Brian People, D. Coleman, GA, Texas boy, Michael Walker, Daniel Bell, Jamarius. I appreciate everybody for joining us, man. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Continue to support your boy here, Matt Mike Sports. I told you before, you guys continue to support us. And if you have not already hit that subscribe button, man, it's going to be ace. I'm gonna do a little small. I'm gonna give something away. As soon as I hit Texas. But as soon as I hit 10K, I'm definitely going to give something away. I'm gonna put some money in somebody's pocket. All right. So you guys have not already, continue to support your boy. Hit that subscribe button. But let's get back to the topic at hand and these quarterbacks. We're talking about, and I kind of see why the Seattle Seahawks kind of traded Russell Wilson away. That man done lost his damn mind. That man in head, that man head must be up Sierra Coochie or something. That motherfucker must be in a whole nother world, because he ain't on planet Earth. Talking about 5 years, $270 million. That's what he's looking for. Man, if you don't suck my left nut with that bullshit, man, you 32 years old, you up here talking about 207. Man, please. Y'all have lost y'all damn mind. They cried about his contract and wanted a mobile QB. Texas boy, look, bro, that's the whole thing. Nobody's never satisfied. Nobody's never satisfied about any fucking thing. You didn't want a pocket quarterback. You got damn near 3 mobile quarterbacks right now, and you still don't want them. Now we're talking about the next story in Atlanta. Oh, we got the mobile quarterbacks. No, that's not the one we wanted. No, that's not the one we wanted. We want this guy. We want that guy. No, I'll just wait till 2023 and see if we get the one that we really want. We want to see this side. We want Bryce Young. Like, how many times are people just not going to be satisfied? Is this the way of the world now? Where nobody's satisfied about anything? That $1 million is no longer enough for people? That $100 million is something that you have to have? If you don't have $100 million, your life is worthless? Is this the world that we fucking live in now? Bro, I'm seeing these contracts. It's getting out of hand. And I'm probably one of the few people that's going to say this, but I'm on the owner side on this. I'm on the owner side on this. I'm sick of seeing these players try to run their way off of teams because they feel like they $100 million. They worth $100 million and not $80 million. Y'all complain over $80 million, people? What are we doing? And then you forget about the teammates that helped you become the player that you are. What if Matt Ryan said, fuck Roddy White, I'm worth $200 million, and then we end up trading Roddy White? What if Matt Ryan said, fuck Julio Jones, and said, nah, I don't want to give Matt Ryan, I don't want to give Julio Jones any of my money. I'm not going to restructure my contract. Fuck Julio. You see what the conversation changes? What if Calvin Ridley would have said, I'll be a good teammate. I'm not going to do dumb shit and gamble. I'm going to actually think about my teammates. Now it's become popular to say, I got to get mine, you got to get yours. I got to get mine, you got to get yours. It's popular to say that. It's popular to say, fuck you, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to step on you. I'm going to put you in the dirt to make sure I get mine and you're no longer getting yours. It's popular to do that shit today. Scotty Robinson, Isaac Crimes was good. Giving a quarterback $50 million a year is going to obliterate team salary cap. The salary, see, and this is where I say I'm on. This is the reason why. That's an excellent comment, and that's the reason why I say I'm on the side, bro. The salary cap is only $230 million. And that number may be a little bit off, but I remember it's about 30, somewhere in there. You're giving $50 million to a quarterback that may not even live up to the numbers that he put up every year. Why? Because he feels as though that he deserves it. Not knowing that football is a team sport, you need every aspect of offense, defense, special teams, coaching to make sure that that quarterback has everything that he needs to succeed to get those big time numbers. And now we have players that is completely forgetting about the nature of team football. It's about fuck the team, I'ma get mine. I don't care about destroying the team. I don't care about the team being and having $50 million dead cap. I want to go to the next team because I believe this next team, even if the damn next team is the Jacksonville Jaguars, even if the team is the damn Jets, I want my $100 million. I want my $23 million. This man what's the wide receiver? Devontae Adams was playing one of the greatest. See, it pisses me off so much just to even say that. All right, this man was playing with one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game, and he said, "Fuck Aaron Rodgers, fuck the Green Bay Packers, fuck winning. I want to go to Oakland so I can get paid." Don't give me all that "I want to go home" bullshit. That man wanted to get paid, okay? Scotty, I'm good. You already making millions of, bro, what the fuck is, like, see, and this is where parents and having the right team around you comes into play. If you have the right people around you to help guide your career, you don't have to whore yourself for $100 million. Because guess what? If you do the right thing, you invest it the proper way. If you like a LeBron, if you like a Michael Jordan, if you like a Kobe Bryant, a Magic Johnson, these guys who are putting their money in different businesses, a Rick Ross, these types of people who are going out and putting their money in different businesses, you don't have to worry about whoring yourself or trying to fuck over your teammates, because you're doing the right thing, investing in your money. Your money is working for you. You don't have to pull shady ass shit like Julio Jones did. And look at that big fat stupid motherfucker, okay? Excuse my language. But look at that big stupid motherfucker, what he did now. He fucked over his teammates. He fucked over the damn organization. And look where he is. He's on a fucking free agent, begging for a goddamn job. Greed leads you to nowhere. When you get greedy, you may have $100 million, but greed is going to put you in a position where you, my friend, are going to do some dumb shit because you don't respect anyone. And you end up like Young Thug in prison because he made $100 million and nobody can tell him shit. I might piss off some people about that. What about Puff Daddy? He thought he could just do whatever he wanted to do. I don't have to, pay the guy that was solely responsible for Bad Boy blowing up the way it is. Yeah, he don't have to respect Biggie. He don't have to pay Biggie. Fuck him and his family. I don't have to protect him. Now, you're in a position now, guys like Puff Daddy, you got Suge, we got so many of these rappers who have been screwed over by greedy people and rappers, and a lot of these damn, not just rappers, just greed in itself. People have been screwed over because someone didn't want to pay. Instead of doing shit the right way and having longevity, you screw people over. Greed leads to nowhere, Mr. Julio Jones. And I know I just went off on a tangent, but greed leads to nowhere. And I said these years ago. Let me know if you remember when I said this. But I said this years ago, where the Falcons are going and where teams are going to be forced to do is not invest in a lot of these not quarterbacks, with the wide receiver. They're going to do away with drafting guys at the receiver position that's going to end up like a Julio Jones, that's going to end up like a Jerry Rice, end up like a Randy Moss, and they're going to start drafting a lot of these tight ends, a lot of the offensive linemen, because that position doesn't demand a lot of money. And we're already seeing that with the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are stockpiling a bunch of number 2, number 3 wide receivers, and these guys just give you enough so they can continue to move the ball. And we're seeing that. You're seeing a lot of wide receivers, a lot of cornerbacks being moved because teams don't want to pay these big-time positions anymore. They rather develop, play a guy for, draft a guy, play him for 4 years, decline his contract, decline his 5th year, and let him go into free agency, and they start the process over and over again. Why? Because it's too much money to invest in these high-priced positions: quarterback, cornerback, wide receiver. I've been telling you guys this for a minute. You're going to see the Falcons do away with these positions. There's nothing. Look, the days of these skill positions, playing all these skill players, it's done. Until they get these contracts, until the NFL get these contracts and they go back to the negotiating table to get these contracts back in order, because it's out of control. Patrick Mahomes making $500 million. You know what I'm saying? On the surface, but it's about $200 million. These owners are about to go back to the negotiating table, and you're going to see a lockout. These owners are not going to be putting $40 million, $50 million in quarterbacks, and the market continue to go up. No, when the market continues to go up, you're going to see these guys make adjustments. And these adjustments in these contracts is going to be a lot of team options and a lot more team options. They're going to put incentives, a lot more incentives in it. So a lot of these quarterbacks who think they worth $50 million, they're going to have to prove it. A lot of these wide receivers that think they worth $20, $30 million, they're going to have to prove it. I'm all for guaranteed money and people getting their money, but your ass is going to have to prove it. And this is why Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, Arthur Blank are going the way that they want to go. Going to where that they're going right now is a lot of 1-year, 2-year contracts. They're sick and tired of paying these spoiled ass brats $20 million, and then in year 4 they give up, they quit on the team, and they want to go. They're sick of it. We're in cap hell because of Julio Jones. We're in cap hell because Thomas Dimitroff played all these skilled players. It's going to be an end. It's going to be an end to this nonsense, people. I'm telling you right now, the owners are going to hold out. They're going to lock out the players. If the players don't meet their demands, they're going to lock them out. I promise you. I'm telling you right now. Write it down. What day is it, okay? June 5th, Sunday, 2022. Man Mike told you guys that the lockout and these contracts, if they don't get resolved and these players do not meet these owners' demands, and you got people like Deshaun Watson, I'm going to bring that up. He's in hell. Now the whole Cleveland Brown organization is fucked. Because they believe what his people was telling them. It's not that big of a deal. That's it. This is not it. And now this man might be out of football for the next 2 years, and they don't fully guarantee this man a $200 million contract, $250 million contract. You think these players, you think these owners are gonna deal with that? Boy, y'all have lost your cotton picking mind. It's about to get ugly. And if these fans, but if these players don't agree to these owners' demands, it's gonna get ugly. D. Coleman, that's bullshit, okay? I don't want to hear that shit. I love you to death, but that's bullshit. It's fuck you, I'ma get mine. Why do I say this? It's because it's all about the actions. They're demanding trades because they want to get paid. Guys like Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, these guys are actually like they're signing contracts to where it's incentives to help the organization. Guys like and I think Russell Wilson is a terrific guy. But this ain't about football. It's not even about football anymore. He's trying to get a paycheck. Seattle refused to give him that next contract, and he wanted out. Why? Because another team was going to give it to him. Now we can sit up here and talk about whether or not we can sit up here and talk about whether or not teams do enough to make sure that you succeed. But this is a guy that already has 2 Super Bowl appearances. He got a Super Bowl ring. You've already won. You've already accomplished things that no other quarterback has done. So it's not even about him winning anymore. It's about that paycheck. Now I can hear people now saying, Mike, hey bro, why can't he just go get his money? Well, that's all fine, but what if your team can't give it to you? What if your teammate like a DK Metcalf need to get paid and you up here demanding $50 million knowing the damn organization can't afford that? Now, I know there's been owners that don't really care about what the players are doing or how they've used players. There's been cases of that. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the owners are all innocent in this. But we're talking about $50 million. I'm talking about his teammates. And a quarterback that's demanding $50 million a year when the damn salary cap is only 230-something million. We have small market teams. We have huge market teams. You can't get people to come to play for a damn Jacksonville. It's hard to get a person in free agency to come play in a small market team. It's damn near impossible. They can't compete. So we got these quarterbacks who are demanding $50 million, and you got these small market teams. They can't compete with the big market team because then it becomes a matter of, that's a whole different story. Now the owners got to go back to the table and start talking about revenue sharing, just like they do in the NBA. That's a whole different story. Why? Because the smaller market teams can't compete with the big market. The small market teams can't compete with a LA. They can't compete with a Texas, a Dallas. Those teams. You can't compete with them. It's supposed to be where it's fair. And it's getting to the point where players and these agents got way too much power. The Packers' master rate is awful, but the Packers let him go. Adams was already out the door. Adams was already out the door. The damage has already been done because they didn't offer him that to begin with. and he felt disrespected, so he took the he already took to Oakland, but Las Vegas. But the main reason why he didn't sign there is because he felt disrespected. He thought he was worth this, and he's one of the best receivers in the league. But it still become a matter of, him getting what he got. Believe it or not, Green Bay is a small market team. They can't compete with a LA. So they have to budget things and, invest in, because they're owned by the state. They owned by the city, and yeah, they're not. It's different compared to what, all the other teams. Green Bay is under a strict salary cap, so they can't go out and just spend, man. They have to invest in good coaching and player development. JT, what's good, man? These contracts ain't getting back in order. As long as the salary cap keeps going up, these players are going to get paid. Elite players are going to get paid as long as the cap goes up. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, because players are going to continue. The salary cap is not going to. The salary cap is going to continue to get. But it's more. It's not the salary cap. It's the market. The market is out of control. That's the issue. When the market continues to rise every time someone gets paid, then the salary cap, it becomes a matter of like, all right, let's say the salary cap is $230 million. Well, if the market continues to rise on these players each year, the quarterback, the best quarterbacks, all right, he gets $50 million this year. All right, the next year, will it continue to go up? The market on the player. Well, this guy got 250, but the market, the salary cap only goes up maybe 10 to 15 million dollars, like $20 million a year. But these player contracts continue to go up 10 to 15 a year, because we went from 42 million to 50 million from. And that's about an $8 million increase for guys like Deshaun Watson. You got the lowest quarterback. I think the lowest quarterback in the league is making, the lowest starting quarterback is making about $20 million a year. And that's on the low end. And I think right now, I think Aaron Rodgers is making somewhere like 48, 50 million himself. And that's going to continue to go up every year. The salary cap doesn't go as much as the player's contract. So that means, guess what? Somebody getting cut. I gave that extra 8 million, 10 million to Aaron Rodgers. Well, now I can't draft 2 young linebackers or 2 young receivers to help him succeed. So what happens then? Aaron Rodgers still making $50 million, but you don't have enough. So you got to do things like the Falcons are doing right now, is bargain basement shopping, hoping that one of these guys develops as a good receiver. So now the draft starts to get, you start to try to, you end up trading away your draft picks. Why? Because you can't afford it. You can't afford these number 1 picks now. You got to get rid of them, because the money continues to grow. So which would you rather have? The money continue to go up? your inability to bring in and sign these draft picks, and then the inability to pay these guys once they develop. So they have to get these contracts in order. And I'm not just saying money wise. We got to make these guys, we got to make these players earn the money. So I have no problem with paying a guy $50 million, but I'm doing it by year basis. If you do not live up to said numbers, let's say the incentives is 45, let's just say 4,500 yards as a guy like Aaron Rodgers, 30 touchdowns and less than 15 interceptions. If you don't live up to that, that $50 million drops down to $40 million because you didn't meet that expectation and you saved $10 million. This is where contracts are going. So that number is going to continue to be $50 million or $60 million, but you're going to have to put more incentives in these contracts. You can't just continue to give out all this free money and guys are not earning it year by year. And then your drafting becomes obsolete because you're not going to be able to pay these guys. You got to trade away these picks. You got to cut this guy. You got to cut a guy like a, let's say a Deion Jones, a solid safety. You got to end up cutting these guys because you can't afford them. What happens to a guy like AJ Terrell if, let's just say we have an Aaron Rodgers on our team and we got AJ Terrell, but Aaron Rodgers his numbers continue to increase and he keeps getting better and better, but you can't keep a guy like AJ Terrell and pay AJ Terrell because Aaron Rodgers his numbers continue to go up. So now as an organization, you got a decision to make. Should I release a Matt Ryan? Should I release a Aaron Rodgers and say the hell with the AJ Terrell? Or should I just keep Aaron Rodgers, trade AJ Terrell, try to use those picks to build a defense? So now you don't have now if you trade away Aaron Rodgers, you don't have a top defense. Now defense start to affect, and this is what the Falcons have been dealing with for years. So these owners got to get a hold on these contracts, because if they don't, the defensive side of the ball is going to is what's going to be affected. They're going to suffer. We're going to be right back where we were. I hear everything everybody's saying, but when you're paying all these, and this is not just, and we're not just talking about teams. You got to understand markets. Some markets can't afford to have two great players. Jacksonville cannot afford to have that. That money has to be, you got to be able to sell tickets. Who the hell gonna come to see AJ Terrell versus an Aaron Rodgers? That's to keep it real. How the hell am I gonna sell AJ Terrell over Aaron Rodgers? So it becomes a matter of how many tickets you can sell. This is business. But look, I hear everybody talking about I hear everybody talking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady making a lot of money, but Tom Brady is giving his team a break. He's been doing that all his career. Tom Brady hasn't been asking for $40-50 million every single season. He's been putting incentive-laced deals where he know he have to prove his worth. He's been doing that ever since he's been in the Patriots, with the Patriots. Why do you think they are able to build good defenses every freaking year? Because they make their team, they make their players work for the contract. This has been going on for years in New England. This isn't new. They don't just give money away. The Patriots, what they do and what they've done for year after year, they use you up 3-4 years, they decline, or they try to trade you before that contract is up, for your rookie contract is up, and they give you to another team and they start over again. Because this money is getting out of hand. But this is something that Tom Brady has done all year. He hasn't like, oh, I want my $50 million. You can go look at it. Go look at it. Tom Brady has been restructuring his contract for years. And Tom Brady left a lot of money on the table and has significant roster over turnover. Winning is great, but the money. And Coleman, that's what I'm talking about. Tom Brady understands this method. He understands that you need to help the organization out if you're going to continue to win and you're going to continue to get paid. I would much rather have $30 million for 2 years, 3 years straight than try to look for that $150 million contract. I would rather have $20 million for the next $5 million as a quarterback than look for that 1 year where you're going to get paid $100 million. And now you're on the team that sucks, and now you can't go. Now you can't win because you demanded your $100 million. You've demanded your $100 million. Now your team sucks. Now they got to get rid of this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. So as a quarterback, as a player, you have to learn how to play the game. This is the reason why Julio Jones is sitting right at home right now. You think this is a coincidence? That a lot of these players who demanded money are sitting at home, not doing a damn thing? There's no coincidence in this. The Falcons, look, I wish people stopped saying this, okay? The Falcons did not trade for Deshaun Watson. The Falcons you can go back and you can listen to the words of Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan decided that times that the Falcons and he and the Falcons were not on the same page and he did not want to lose, okay? They used that situation to help Matt Ryan move on, because if they didn't, the story would be Matt Ryan quit on the Falcons. People already hate Matt Ryan in Atlanta, okay? They hate his fucking guts. What if if Matt Ryan would have said, all right, they're not going to win, or they're not going to win, the Falcons aren't going anywhere, I want out. And it had nothing to do with Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson's name would have never came up, what if Matt Ryan would have just said, all right, I'm gone, I quit, I want to trade? These fans would have ate his ass alive. The media would have said, the news headline with Matt Ryan would have been, Matt Ryan quit on the Falcons and left us in turmoil. It was time to go. Matt Ryan and the Falcons came together, concocted a scheme to say, all right, This is how we're going to move on from this. You can believe it if you want to, but the evidence is there. This is the same team when they was quote unquote putting their hand in the bucket to trade for a Deshaun Watson. You can't even get these guys only asked for a 3rd round pick for Matt Ryan. You really think that was about Deshaun Watson? On top of that, they took a $40 million cap hit. So if you're gonna take a $40 million cap hit, why am I gonna only look for a 3rd round pick? Doesn't make sense, does it? They decided to move on, and that's how everything went down. They did not meet with Deshaun Watson. That's another fairy tale. Okay, JT, bro, you're a content creator. How are you saying stuff like this? The Falcons never met with Deshaun Watson. They met with a representative. All that, they met at a like Deshaun Watson, they took him out to dinner. That never happened. Okay? That never happened. The only team that really met with him was Cleveland. I don't need to check my DMs. I already know the story. I seen the articles. I know all of that. Come on, bro. You gotta know this stuff. JT, come on, bro. You gotta know this. It came out of Matt Ryan's and Arthur Blank's mouth. They never met with him. No team met with Deshaun Watson. No team. Falcons met with a representative and talked to them about what did they want with him. They never met with Deshaun Watson. That was the closest any team got to it. No other team met with Deshaun Watson and went further in those dealings. It was only the Cleveland Browns. But yeah, I'm glad that they didn't. But yeah, you gotta understand. Like I said, that was what the issue was. The Falcons needed to move on from Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan needed to move on from the Falcons. It was just time, and they put that together. You got to understand the background of what Terry Fontenot is. That guy is a marketing. Like that's what his strength is. It's all about marketing. He's a marketing genius, image consultant. Like that's what he is. But like I said, everybody gonna believe what they believe about that Matt Ryan and Terry Fontenot and Deshaun Watson. There was a reason why Deshaun Watson jumped on that contract. Nobody else offered him a contract. The Cleveland Browns got caught. They got completely outdone and outclassed by Deshaun Watson's handlers. They played the hell out of this dude. Why? Because they know he's in desperate need of money right now. Why? Because he got 24 cases on him, and I think there's a 25th. They need money to pay off these women. And the team that fell for it is the Cleveland Browns. This ain't going away no time soon with Deshaun Watson. They played the hell out of that team. And like I said, I feel I made a video on that. You guys can check that out on Mad Mike Network. I'm doing more content on the NFL, around the league, just around sports. But I talked about how I just felt bad for the Cleveland Browns organization, because that organization is just doing terrible things. Why? Because they're hungry for a player. It's a 24th. Wow. I've said this before. I'm not proud of the Falcons even making it known publicly that they were in the hunt for Deshaun Watson. I thought it was disgraceful. I hated every moment, every second that I was seeing on Twitter or in the news that they were in, put their name in there. But if you go back, anybody who's a and I've done plenty of shows and interviews with a lot of these journalists, reporters who with the Atlanta Falcons. Not one of those guys said the Falcons were in on a hunt. D-Led never said it. Jeff Schultz never said it. The Falcoholic, none of these guys said the Falcons were in on the hunt. That came from Adam Schefter. Why would the guys, all right, as these Falcons reporters who love to make up stuff, why would they not agree to the fact that, yeah, the Falcons were in on it? It never came from D-Led's mouth that the Falcons were in on Deshaun Watson. He never said it one time. Jeff Schultz never said it one time that the Falcons were in. But you saw that, good God. But you saw that consistently with the national media. They were the one that reporting that the Falcons were in on the Deshaun Watson. You never heard Terry Fontenot said that he was in on it. You never heard Arthur Smith said it. What these guys said, that they were going to listen to every offer from anyone and everyone. Listening to an offer is not the same as seeking a guy. Let me say that again, okay? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna wrap it up. But he never said at one time that these good God. But he never said one time that they were in the hunt and they were actually pursuing them. So that's like I said, that's the issue at hand that we got to understand. And a lot of these teams, they put up marketing schemes and marketing plans to try to either increase the value on a guy, because you got to remember also the New Orleans Saints had their hand, as well as the Panthers had their hand in, and they had their name in the pot to go get Deshaun Watson. So the Falcons was just playing the game, man. They already knew it was time to move on from Matt Ryan. I think we all know it was time to move on from Matt Ryan. But yeah, like I said before, these contracts, what you're going to see with a lot of these contracts moving forward, is a lot of these guys are going to have incentives. You're going to have to prove to a lot of these guys that 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 you're worth $50 million. You got to prove that you're worth $50 million. And that's the thing, what I fear that is getting out of hand. And JT, that's hey bro, I love you, man. Don't get it twisted. But like, there's a lot of misinformation out there where it's like, all right, the Falcons were in on it. Yeah, of course they were in on it. Why wouldn't they be in on it? You got an aging quarterback who's 37. You got the Saints who's looking for a quarterback also since Drew Brees retired. And you have Jameis Winston, who was then, I think he had a 1 year, 2 year contract. They signed him to a 1 or 2 year contract. You have Sam Darnold, and the Falcons try to do everything that they possibly could to drive up the price. Let's just keep it real. They did everything to drive up the price to make sure that if the Saints were going to do it, pull the trigger, that they will handicap themselves or handcuff themselves, give up 3, 4, 5 picks, because the Browns, they don't have a first round pick for the next 3 to 4 years. And if the Falcons would have driven up the price where the Panthers and the Saints would have taken the bait, then the Falcons in the driver's seats when it comes down to the NFC South. See, like I said, it's all marketing, it's all a scheme, it's all a game. Now, if the Falcons were the only team in the NFC South, and then we was like, all right, they went after Deshaun Watson, but nobody in the NFC South are going after, then I'll say, all right, see, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. I got a major problem with that, because you go from Matt Ryan, the guy who's never been in trouble, to a guy that got 20-something sexual abuse allegations on him. Like, now, I'm looking at Arthur like, what the fuck are you doing? Now I got a major problem. I got a major problem at hand. So at the end of the day, like I said, June 5th, 2022, I'm telling y'all right now, what you're going to see a lot of contracts that says 150 million, 200 million, damn near 300 million. But the new contracts are going to be incentive laced. These guys are going to have to prove. You're going to see a lot of incentives. You're going to see a lot of options in these contracts. Because as an owner, you cannot afford to give these quarterbacks $50 million a year plus, and their numbers and their game is declining. That's idiotic. It's ignorant. No owner in the world would ever do a thing like that. I don't care if it's Matt Ryan. I don't care if it's Tom Brady. No quarterback deserves $50 million a year just because he's Tom Brady. No, Tom Brady got to prove that he's worth that $50 million by putting up these numbers: 5,000 yards passes, 35 plus touchdowns, and less than 15 interceptions. Tom Brady got to do that every year if I'm going to give him $50 million. I don't give a damn who he is. I don't give a damn if he is the GOAT. I'm not giving him $50 million a year when I need to build a team around him, an offensive lineman that may have retired. Then you got a Julio Jones that's asking for more money. You got a Mike Evans that asking for more money. You got, tackles. I forget the tackle that end up retiring, the guard that end up retiring, Bucks. Why am I keep giving them dudes money when everybody, and Ndamukong Suh right now, and Ndamukong Suh sitting on in free agency because he wants more money. He feels disrespected. You see how these things work. Players feel disrespected when you see all these quarterbacks getting $50 million, and these damn defensive linemen, they can't even get $3 million. But we giving all these damn quarterbacks $50 million. That's crazy as hell. Rashard, performance-based contracts. That will be the new norm. Players are not in control. You gotta understand that. Players ain't in control of shit. Players ain't in control of a damn thing. Why I say that? Because we're seeing it now. Players ain't in control of nothing. They just traded Russell Wilson like it was nothing. Like he was a piece of fucking hot dog. They traded Russell Wilson for a number of picks. Why? He's 32 years old. The players are not in control, baby. Gotta understand that. These owners run everything. These agents run everything. Like Taysom Hill's contract, like that contract is incentive laced. They got incentives in his contract where it's different. If he's playing if he's a tight end, he's making this amount of money. If he's a running back, he's making this money. If he's playing at quarterback, he's making this amount of money. These players are not in control, bro. These incentives, these performance escalators, that's going to be the new norm. The players are not in control. Now the player can, push they can push the envelope here and there, but at the end of the day, these owners are not going to play that game. They will trade your ass to Afghanistan if they could, for a couple of first-round picks. These players ain't in control. Because guess what? Oh, I'll get a Julio Jones who's 33 years old. I'll sign him for a year, get a couple of picks, a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and two third-round picks next year, and then I'll do a draft of Jameson Williams. We seeing this. These players are not in control. They will replace your ass in a heartbeat when you start playing this, oh, I'm worth X amount of money. They will get rid of your ass. These teams play the game. I don't believe even that. I don't believe the players are in control. I think they are more controlled than other players. Some players, Julio Jones have more power than a guy like Calvin Ridley. Like a Julio Jones in his prime have more power than a Calvin Ridley or a Mohamed Sanu. Like, I believe that. They have more control of how much money that they can demand than other players, but don't get it twisted. These players are not in control. We see it year after year where guys think that they worth X amount of money and then they hold out, i.e. the running back Le'Veon Bell. He thought he was worth, $15-16 million a year, and guess what happened? I'm talking about your team, pimping. I know. Le'Veon Bell thought he was worth $16 million. The Steelers said, oh, hell no. We ain't giving you that. Put his ass on they put his ass on a franchise deal, and then let his ass walk in free agency. These players ain't in control, pimping. If Lamar Jackson was in control of his situation, he would have got paid by now. I'm telling you right now, the Ravens are looking for an opportunity to replace him. If they can find someone to replace him, they did it to Hollywood. They've done it. They've done it. If Ray Lewis and Ed Reed wasn't as good as they were, they would have done it to them. They did it to Terrell Suggs. How many times have you seen the Ravens do that? They do that. I mean, the Steelers did it to Antonio Brown. These players are not in control, pimping. A.J. Brown, again, that's another terrific back there. A.J. thought he was like, he thought he had the bag right there. Gone. Quarterback. Ryan Tannehill thought he was just the shit. They had him ranked as a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback. Look at his ass. They drafted Malik Willis to be his replacement, thinking that he had it all in the bag. Oh, I'm a valuable quarterback. I'm a valuable player. Man, these players are not. You play that game with these organizations demanding stuff, oh, they gonna make sure the right time to get rid of your ass. Julio Jones didn't want to play for the Falcons because he didn't like Arthur Smith. Guess what? They sent his ass to Tennessee with a damn near identical offense. Damn near the same offense. And his ass had the worst year of his career. These players are not in control. What's up, Jew? How you doing, bro? Good word today. Tell your brother good word, man. But these players are not in control. You just have the guys that's currently in control. They're making their voices heard, and they screaming loud. I mean, if Kyler Murray was in control of his contract, don't you think Kyler Murray would have had his $50 million a year? He did all that and He did all of that deleting pictures of Arizona, all to be his ass right back in Arizona. He did all that crime just to stay in Arizona. Lamar Jackson cried like hell when they traded the wide receiver. Hollywood Brown. Did they go out and get another receiver? Hell no. They didn't draft another receiver. They did what the hell they wanted to do. These players are not in control. That's one thing we got to get straight. These owners run shit as it should be. But you got some owners that's better than others and others that's not so good. Aaron Rodgers, man, look, Aaron Rodgers asked for so many receivers. Aaron Rodgers been crying about things for years. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers asked for stuff for years. That was the main reason why he wanted out, because he wasn't getting what he wanted. So, like I said, we're gonna expand on this contract. My producer Noah is telling me stuff getting out of hand. So, Noah, yeah, we're gonna expand on this. JT, if you be available Monday, Thursday, you can check us out. You can join us and talk about that. But yeah, you guys go check out JT Sports. I've had him on the show before. We're gonna expand on this because I think this is a subject matter that is not going away anytime soon. These contracts are getting out of hand, and like the NFL, they have to do something about it because it's crazy. I don't feel like I should have to pay a Kyler Murray $50 million when he's done nothing. You ain't made it out the fucking first round. of the playoffs, but you up here asking for $50 million. Man, if you don't, man, look, that's a whole nother subject. Like I said before, prove to me that you're a good quarterback, that you're worth $50 million. No quarterback who's not made it out of the first round or second round should be up here demanding $50 million. Man, you don't sit your cock-eyed ass down so over that bullshit. You ain't make it out of the first or the second round, but you up here demanding $50 million. Man, you crazy as hell. I'm about to get hot again. Excuse me. I appreciate you guys for joining us, but check us out Monday. We're going to expand on this conversation myself. K-Styles, so you guys help K-Styles get to 1K. He deserves it, man. If anybody in this group, the Unholy Alliance, aka AFN, everybody, if anybody deserves it, man, K-Styles have been working his ass off. He deserves to be at 1K. I made it my personal. Before I do anything else, I'm going to make sure that he gets to 1K. So you guys, please head over to 6-Man K-Styles. Check out his channel. All right. Thursdays. All right. Thursdays, we're going to have 6-Man combo. All right. And all you guys know, Cooler Talk Monday. All right. We're on both channels. But make sure you subscribe to JT Sports. You can check him out on all the podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the podcast platforms, as well as myself. All about content. All right, so continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports. If you feel any type of way, you felt like I was a little bit too aggressive, well, get the fuck over it. This is what we do over here at Mad Mike Sports. Friday Night Madness. If you want to cuss me out, tell me to shut the fuck up, come on Friday Night Madness. I promise you, I'll take it. I'll take the beating. I'll take the verbal beating. They'll tell me to shut the fuck up and let you talk. Hell, it's y'all show. Friday Night Madness is for the people. It's for anybody who want to come on and be heard. This is your time, your spot. Friday Night Madness, Mad Mike Sports, 6-Man K-Styles. That's all I got to say about that. Gone.